Join me for a mother-daughter conversation today because the bird is back in the nest. It's going to be a good one. Grab your coffee and let's get into it. Welcome back.
I'm back.
How do you feel about your room? Because we're sitting in it.
I'm glad you made use of what I left here, like the shoe storage boxes.
Oh, yeah.
So I know those are expensive, but there's just no space where I was.
Yeah.
But it's cute. I love the rug and very girly.
Yeah, it's it's very calming in here. Even though I've had some paranormal activity in this room, it's a very calming vibe. I think it's the pink. I have to look into that if like a soft pink light is calming because I feel very calm.
Well, I was always calm in this room too.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I did keep your picture though. Did you see the picture?
Yeah. I wish you kept Can't Buy Me Love.
Well, it's in the closet. I can't get rid of it because I just love that movie so much, but I just really don't know what to do with it. So
I wanted to take it with me, but Hi wouldn't let me. So.
No?
No. Too girly.
Yeah, it is pretty girly. I can't imagine where you would put it.
Yeah, I can't either, honestly.
Yeah. All right. Well, why don't you let's just take it back. The last time you were on the show, you were getting ready for your move. And you have it's now what, 2 months? Has it been 2 months?
Since I moved?
Yeah.
About a month and a half.
Yeah. Okay. So it's been a month and a half. And you're on your own in San Diego. How has that been?
It's been very quiet because, I mean, my whole life I've been surrounded by a lot of noise, by people, by dogs.
Yeah.
So it's a big transition being in a very quiet space. It's nice, but it's also sad at the same time.
Yeah.
I've definitely been homesick, but I feel like it's been a good adjustment.
So you don't feel, because I remember like after you've been there a while, I was like, oh man, even a couple weeks, I thought, I hope she's not going to have trouble mentally because I knew you're leaving a house. Like we are just always home. It's hustle and bustle. We're loud. The dogs are loud. It's a loud house, a lot going on. So it's a very big contrast. And then I started thinking, and then you work from home and then you live in a high rise. So it's not easy to just go for a walk because it's a process to get outside. How's that been?
I feel like it's been good. I mean, I had a routine. I think what helped me was setting a routine right from the start, right when I moved in. As soon as we got everything unpacked, I kind of started my routine right there, even before you came.
Yeah.
I had like my workout routine and stuff, and you were all paranoid, but I was fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, because
I know you were worried, but I had, even though I work from home and I'm home most of the day, I am a homebody naturally, but I still had my workout routine. I still had, my work routine that I was doing. It wasn't like I was slacking on work.
But you had to create a new routine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You had to make a conscious effort to create a new routine, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what helped.
I knew that from the jump.
Yeah.
It's something that I have to be cautious of.
Yeah. But I mean, that just in general, because my thought process is with anybody that if you do something new, get a new job or whatever it may be, something changes in your life. I feel like a lot of times people at that moment, that's when they like abort their healthy lifestyle or whatever, when all you have to do is kind of just stop and reevaluate what you have going on, your new schedule, your new, and then make a new routine.
Honestly, it was actually so much easier with like getting back onto a health routine and stuff because I knew that I was going to be cooking for Hi as well, at least dinners. And now I don't have to share a fridge with anyone except for Hi, my boyfriend. And then we I don't know, I feel like I had a lot more control of the kitchen because it was open whenever I needed it. And so it was actually pretty easy with the food aspect.
It's been nice to have a little bit more time in the kitchen as well because it's just a lot of people trying to get into the same kitchen in this house. It can be very frustrating sometimes.
Yes, and I love getting to wake up at 6:30 or 7 without toys being flung across the hallway.
Pablo, he still does that. He like pushes a hard toy until it's like at the end of the hallway, and then he grabs it and then he runs it to the other side of the hallway. And he is like, Pablo is the French bulldog. It's primarily Mike's dog. And Pablo is like a bull in a china shop, just like Mike.
Yeah, they're the same.
Weren't we were talking about that. Like, why is that dogs or animals seem to take on the the personalities of their owners?
Yeah, most of the time. I don't feel like
my dogs. No.
Maybe Charles a little bit.
No, Karma was though.
Karma, yeah.
Karma was me. Yeah, she was very much so. Maybe Phoebe will become that way. She's still very childlike.
Phoebe's too sweet.
Wow. Is that an insult?
You're a little bit more Charles.
Oh, okay. What has been the worst part of moving or being on your own? I'm going to ask you worst and best, obviously.
I think you know because...
Yep.
I mean, I've been in the hunt for a while, but the hardest part has been the quietness with the aspect to the dogs. Because I've had a dog ever since I was 5 years old. There's been dogs in my life, multiple dogs in my life. Ever since I was 5, there's always been at least 2, right? And going from that and the rambunctiousness of that to absolute quietness and no dog, it made me realize how important they are to have in your life, especially if you're a dog person, because they are your emotional support system. Really, it's amazing. And I mean, the dogs have helped me through so much in my life. Like, you would bring Karma to my competitions, and I had a panic attack at one of them, and
I gave her to you. Well, I brought her for that reason, for panic. When you would have like true, and I'm talking about like, I feel like people use that word so loosely. Panic attack. I had a panic attack. No, a true panic attack. Like the true, you can't reason with you. And Karma was the only one who kind of like would bring you back to earth.
Yeah.
You know?
I was diagnosed, so I had panic disorder.
Yeah.
Diagnosed, and it was very, very, very severe. I was hyperventilating, crying, and scratching your myself legs until I had scabs.
Yeah.
So that's where dogs can just change your life in that aspect as far as your mental health.
Yeah, for sure. So because of that being the worst part, you want to share? Are you sharing?
I am officially getting a dog, a little puppy.
What a shock.
I said, it was crazy. I said I was going to go 1 to 2 years without getting a dog. And then pretty much a week after I moved down, I was like, I need to get a dog. So I've been on the hunt for a while, and I just put a deposit in yesterday. And so I'm going to have a baby girl coming soon, a toy Cavapoo.
Maybe the listeners can vote on the name.
Yeah, maybe.
Go ahead. Share.
Okay, so I'll say my top 2 and then a bonus one. The first option is Scarlet. The second option is Marley, like from Marley and Me. And then a bonus one is Ellie, because I like that one too.
Oh, I like Ellie too.
And you have to put a picture so you can see.
Yeah. Okay. The dog, because she's kind of reddish. I immediately saw Scarlet when I saw the picture. I'm like, oh, that's a Scarlet. And you sent me a list of like 10 names, and I said my favorites are Scarlet and Marley, and you're like, those were the two top names.
Yeah, I'm just so excited though. I can't wait to be a mother. I can't wait to be a mother, and I already know I'm going to be a helicopter mom. I just can't help it. Like, I see these, because I live right by a dog park, so I'm looking out on my balcony and I'm seeing these dogs get into fights multiple times a day. I'm like, I don't know if it's irresponsible dog parents or what, but I see multiple dog fights every single day, and it's because they're not on a leash, and dogs are unpredictable.
I know.
So I know for a fact I'm going to stay clear of those, at least when there's dogs.
Yeah, dog parks are actually the worst places to bring your dog.
Yeah.
That's where I think I watched a TikTok one time from a vet, and it said, what I would not do as a veterinarian, and what I see, I'm going to let you know what I would not do with my dogs. And it was the number one thing was I would not take my dog to a dog park.
Yep.
It was crazy because, I mean, it's just nothing but drama. I would never be able to handle that. I can't even really, I have a hard time even walking them. And then if I see big dogs or whatever that have enough slack on their leash, I'll pick them up. I just get so nervous because they're little. And your dog, a Cavapoo is going to be pretty small. It's a mini, right?
Yeah, so it's going to be like between 7 to 13 pounds.
About Phoebe's size, potentially around that size. Oh, how exciting. So Halloween time?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so comment in the comments, and obviously you've seen the picture. So Ellie, Scarlett, or Marley. I want to know what you guys think. We've done a little vote around here. I've shared my favorite is Scarlett. Mike said Scarlett. Hi said Marley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. How exciting. I can't wait. I'm going to be a grandma. Well, I'm already a grandma to Apollo.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Apollo's my first grandchild. Sorry. It's me, my first granddaughter.
Yeah, that's true.
Fur granddaughter. Okay, so the worst part has been the quietness, which that's why I was worried about your mental health too. Just quiet, like mundane. What's been the best part then?
I think it is, I don't know. It's just every morning I look out the window, I'm so blessed to be where I am. Because I live in like a high rise, I guess you can say, but it's just so motivating. Just looking at the window, it's like makes me want to work hard, and I feel like it's so fun getting to do it with Hi because he's like my best friend, so we get to do it together. And you said on the last podcast, you said I think you guys are gonna have a time.
Yeah, I did say that,
and we are not having a time.
There's been no time.
There's been no time.
Come on, let's be.
I'm
this
serious.
Is candidly with coffee. There's been no times, no dirty sock on the floor, or he didn't put away his laundry.
I mean, yeah, but we bicker about that.
No, but I mean, I'm not saying what fights have you had, but like has about your cleanliness.
No, I'm talking in terms of that. I'm like the shower curtain, but. He's still working on that.
Wait a minute. Pause. Are you telling me that you get upset when he leaves the shower curtain open?
No, please, because I always close the shower curtain.
I'm asking a question. Yes.
I don't get upset.
And do you know how many times that I've walked into your guys' bathroom and the shower curtain was open here?
Guess who it was?
Who?
It wasn't me.
So who was it? Hi,
or someone else. Who knows?
Okay, so what else? The shower curtain? How about the kitchen? Do you guys go to bed and the dishes are done or in the sink?
Yeah. Well, we have a dishwasher. At first, our dishwasher was broken, which really sucks. So like the first couple of weeks, we had to hand wash it. But still, we...
Oh, you sound such a brat right now. I had to hand wash my dishes.
Oh, please, just listen. Remember Hi?
Oh, yeah. That was so funny because it's a high-rise apartment. It's nice. You know, it's considered like a luxury apartment. And, Hi was like, I'm surprised that this place is considered luxury. I mean, there's not even a Nest, like, you know, the Nest thermostat thing. And I'm like, oh, boy, a little bougie over here. Somebody's bougie.
We sound entitled. But as far as the dishwashing goes, we pay for it, so it's like you want to use it, right?
No, of course.
But it's been great. I love apartment living. So fun. And whenever we have anything like a little wrong with the apartment, we just put in a request and they come and fix it nice and easy.
Does it bother you to have to like go all the way down the elevator and down it, like the process, like, oh, I don't want to go down and get that package or something like that?
Most of the time, no, unless it's busy time. So we try to avoid busy times. So like around 8 a.m. is really busy.
The elevators.
And then 5 p.m. is busy. So we try to avoid those times.
Yeah.
Which is easy because we work from home. So, and we both work from home. We don't drive each other crazy.
Yeah.
I you have to realize we started our relationship in 2020, May of 2020, where there was nothing we could do but hang out with each other.
Yeah.
No restaurants are open, only takeout. You couldn't even sit outside at that time.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do but
I
talk
remember.
and get to know each other and be in close quarters with each other. So that's what we've always been used to.
Yeah, you guys have that unique advantage because, I mean, it doesn't get worse or better than that in both regard, right? It's like you didn't even know. I remember when you guys first started dating, you're like, I don't even know. We've actually never even been on a date. Remember? You had said, like, we've actually, like, never been out to dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Because we were
while.
in full lockdown. Mm-hmm. And then when you guys moved together in here, in this room, actually, you guys were always in this room. It's small.
Yeah.
So you actually now have more space.
Oh, yeah. It feels so big. It's so nice.
Yeah.
I love it. And now we got our patio, too, so we can go and sit on the patio, too. And, it's been a good adjustment so far.
Do you guys sit out on that patio?
Yeah. Yeah,
I love the view out on... The view is the best part of your... But how long do you think you'll be in that building?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Can't say.
I feel like you guys will be like, we needed this, or it's something new is coming.
I think we'll want to expand, but he's got to make those calls.
You got to make those. What about you? You got to make those calls.
I got to make those calls.
So Alyssa has officially started working for me in a new role. How do you like that?
I love it. I'm in a sales position, which if you would have asked me even like 8 months ago if I would ever do sales, I would say no, never in my life. Mm-hmm. You're crazy. I can't even call a pizza delivery guy on the phone. One time Tyler made me do that when I was like 8 years old. And I think that's one of
Are you traumatized?
I was a little traumatized by that for a long time because I had like freaked out and I started crying and I hung up the phone. I couldn't do it. I don't know what switched in me, but here I am.
I mean, that's a perfect example of you cannot never say never, because Tyler and I had the conversation a few days ago, like, how is it possible the girl who couldn't talk to people wants to be like, you talk to strangers all day, basically.
Yeah, I know. And I like to think of it as I truly believe in your program so much, and I know 100% it works. I see it, I hear it every day. And so if you fully believe in it, you want everyone to be in on it and help them. I truly, like when I'm calling these people and I learn their stories too, because they get pretty vulnerable with me because I learn about who they are, what their daily routine is, what their struggles are, and I truly want to help them because I know they can succeed if they invest in you. It is an investment, but it's to get into the best shape of your life and get your confidence back.
Do you think that you're good at figuring out whether someone will be a fit for me, though? Because, I have my unique, I don't know if I would say it's a unique style, but it's its own style.
Yeah.
You know? Are you good with conveying that to the client, to the potential client, you think? So how do you feel about like now, because I brought you fully in. So you're doing, basically you do like this, like the consultation calls basically for someone who's interested in working with me. But you also now are like in there chatting it up with the clients. How do you like that?
Chatting it up. I like it. They're very active. It's so fun. And it's nice, and it's honestly reassuring too. Like, oh, they're actually coming to me for questions.
Yeah. The funny thing is I think it was important for you to see this side of things, because I think for you to be in this side, like what it's like in the client world, because that is kind of like, it's private. It's private. Like social media doesn't see that. Nobody sees that. It's like a little bubble once you become a client, and then you're in the client bubble. And for you to see that, I think it gives you a better understanding of what it's like, so that when you're talking to new people, like, do they fit in that bubble or not?
Yeah.
So like when I had you join a coach's chat.
I did join a coach's chat.
What did you think of that?
It was good. You're very well organized and informative. And I think, I mean, man, for what these people are getting, they're getting a lot of value for what
I know
for this program. It's crazy.
Yeah. I feel that way. I'm a strong believer in under promising and over delivering. I think that's the way you get and keep clients is by under promise, over deliver. Okay, let's get into some hot topics. But before we do that, let's take a break for Transcend. Hey everyone, I'm super excited to share a special offer on something I've personally been using and taking and absolutely love. It's the NAD Plus injectable. This is a favorite among celebrities. I've heard tons of celebrities talking about it on podcasts lately, and it makes me even more excited that I'm taking it. Kind of like a fountain of youth kind of thing. I can totally see why. NAD Plus has been a game changer for my cognitive health, energy, and overall wellness. Right now, Transcend is offering an amazing 20% off NAD Plus and other cognitive health peptides. If you're already a Transcend patient, just reach out to your wellness specialist to take advantage of this deal. If you're not a patient yet, now's the perfect time to join the Transcend family. Use my link, transcendcompany.com/ESCOElite to book a consult and find out which peptides are right for you. Don't miss out. Improve your cognitive health and overall wellness with this amazing offer. All right. So first of all, let's recap a little bit we went to LA together. And I shared it actually on the membership site, so for my inner circle. So we'll talk a little bit about it in the after show, a little more for the inner circle to hear like the details. But we had an experience in LA with I called it the Murder Motel. So I want to talk about that.
We're
going to talk about that a little bit in the after show. Okay. But during that trip, we started watching the Menendez brothers documentary. And then you know what we did? I didn't tell you because I thought you're gonna be bummed out, but we did go and drive by the house after all.
I knew it. I knew you would do that. I knew it.
It wasn't far away, so they Googled it when we were in the car, and they're like, "It's close." I'm like, "Okay, we'll go." So we went to the Menendez house.
Why didn't you just take me with you?
I thought you were in a rush.
I was in a little bit of a rush.
I felt the vibe, like you're like, oh, I cannot. This is gonna take another time. I got to get on the road. I got to go grocery shopping. That's the energy I was getting from you. So I thought I was giving you letting you break free. But then once we saw the house, I was like, oh, Alyssa would have thought this was really cool because it's exactly the same.
Dang.
So, anyways, I got you into the case. I was way into it back then, but we started watching the documentary. What do you think of that? Well, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, I've heard about it before, but I'm really into true crime, but I've maybe only seen like one case about it, or one story about it. Are you talking about the series that was released, or
the series, the case, anything? What are your thoughts in general, Menendez brothers? Just give us your.
I think I can see why they were upset with like Eric and Lyle, how they were upset with the portrayal of it, especially if in like the last few episodes, like the storylines that they were going with,
the perspectives, I
think it was a little far-fetched. I think this is hot topic, right? I think they've served their time. They've served what, 35 years. 35 years. I do truly believe they were abused. Yeah. With looking at all the, beyond the show. Yeah. Looking at all the evidence that there was, not even just the ones that were put out in court. Yeah. I think there was a lot of damning evidence to support that they were actually abused for many years.
You know what's crazy is the stance of everybody, really, on both sides. Everyone pretty much agrees that they were abused. There's very few people that actually say that they don't believe they were abused, but they still feel like even that the abuse, they even said it, that they coined the phrase abuse excuse, like that it's not an excuse for what they did. And based on like the manslaughter rules, they would have to believe that they were in imminent danger of death or great bodily harm. But I do believe they probably were in fear of what this powerful man and woman were capable of.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can understand why they were scared.
Yeah.
To say anything or go to the police or run away because he was very wealthy. So
Powerful.
and I'm sure very powerful. So, he can probably do a lot and hide a lot of things.
I wonder, there's some people, like I was watching Court TV, like they said they think that people should not get their hopes up because they do not think that they will be let out.
Damn.
But I don't know. It's all about, what started the whole thing, like kind of gave it a resurgence was TikTok. Literally TikTok during 2020. People started diving into it. Like there's all these true crime sleuths on TikTok. Do you follow at all the Scott Peterson case or any of that?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Scott Peterson?
I don't know. I'm still on the fence. I know you think he did it.
Why are you on the fence?
But it's more so I think he did it. But I still have like a reasonable doubt.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I don't. Listen, I actually
I've
did.
seen many different sides of it. And I can see the idea where he could be innocent.
No, absolutely not. That is not an innocent man. I've been open to Scott Peterson and whether he was like, I was open to listening to like the new evidence and kind of like the new perspectives and things on it. So I watched it with an open mind and I still was like, no, he did it. But I truly watched it with an open mind. What about P. Diddy? Any thoughts on that whole thing?
I'm honestly not super caught up on that.
What's so interesting to me? P. Diddy is the current pop culture headline, and you don't know anything about it, but you know about like the old cases, Menendez, Peterson.
Yeah, I like crime stories. I like murders.
Yeah. You know what? I do too. Like, for example, you got me into that podcast, actually, Crime Junkie podcast. I'll scroll through and I'll only listen to the ones that the title, it says murdered.
Yeah, me too.
Is that sick?
I do too. You know that TikTok that's like, his arms were cut off, his legs were cut off, and it's us falling asleep to it.
I know, like it's so peaceful. Actually, they just came out with I don't know, some psychologist or whatever said that it's actually damaging people that watch true crime or like gruesome things to relax and to before they go to bed. It's actually like not a good like mental health sign.
Uh-oh.
I know, because that's like my favorite.
I know. I love Bailey Sarian. She's my favorite because she does her makeup at the same time.
You got me into her.
And it's just watching something different while she's talking about crime. And she does her research really well. So I love her.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a little break for MegaFit meals and we'll be right back. When it comes to hitting your macros, MegaFit Meals makes it so easy with their delicious macro-friendly meal prep options. Mike and I are constantly on the go these days, and these meals are a lifesaver during some of our busiest weeks. Whether you're craving chicken tenders, pizza, filet mignon, or even pasta, MegaFit Meals has something for everyone. All meals are high in protein, made with quality ingredients, and designed to help you crush your health and fitness goals. And the best part, there's no subscription required, so you can order as you need. Save time without sacrificing nutrition, and if you want to try it for yourself, use our link in the description and enter code Janine for a discount. That's code JEANINE. MegaFit Meals has you covered. All right, we are back. What was her name again? Let's continue on that. What was it? Bailey Sarian. Murder, Mystery, and Makeup Mondays. I watch her too. I like her a lot. So, but what's your favorite true crime podcast now? Because it's not Crime Junkie anymore.
No, it's Murder with My Husband. It's a husband-wife duo. The husband doesn't really like true crime. The wife does. And so she tells the stories. He kind of reacts to it. But so similar into like Crime Junkie, but I love their dynamic. That's so interesting.
So she tells the story and he's reacting to it, but he doesn't know the story ahead of time?
He doesn't know the story. And most of the time he doesn't know like the story at all. Like hasn't heard of the headlines. She's a very good storyteller though.
Why do I feel like that is like a crime version of this podcast with Mike?
Yeah, it really is. She has her iPad and everything too.
because sometimes when I say that little intro at the beginning of the episode and you look at Mike and he's like, wow, this is going to be interesting.
and she has her little blankies all the time with her dog. Little dog.
Have I seen it?
If you haven't, you need to.
I feel like maybe I came across it. What is their set? What does their set look like? Is it dark?
Dark with red outline.
I think I have seen it. How funny though. Maybe I should get into true crime stories with Mike. Mike and his commentary is hilarious. But I want to talk about more of our experience in LA in the after show, because that's where I told that story. I don't think this audience knows that whole story. But have you had any like paranormal experience ever?
Questionable. Maybe yes, maybe no. I can't say for certain like others can.
Are you open? I mean, do you believe that it's possible?
Yeah, I do. But it really hasn't happened to me. Like, I couldn't distinguish if it was like sleep paralysis, sleepwalking, or if it was like an actual spirit.
Why? What happened?
It was at Vaugh's house, and I fell asleep upstairs, and then I felt myself waking up, but not really. I just I was aware that I was standing up, but I couldn't really control my movements. But somehow I made it all the way downstairs next to Tyler, sleeping right next to him, and I felt like I couldn't move out of my body, but I felt very much awake, but I couldn't move.
But were you really moving?
Yeah, I moved downstairs.
You walked downstairs, but you felt like you couldn't
I felt like I couldn't control my movements.
That is so weird.
I walked all the way downstairs, and then I laid next to Tyler and fell asleep. It was really weird.
That
strange.
Sounds like maybe like a sleep paralysis kind of thing. I don't know. Do you have very vivid dreams?
Not anymore. I only had vivid dreams when I was on Zoloft.
Oh, is that one of the
oh my
side
God.
effects of it?
Yes, it's like you're living a whole life. It's crazy. You're like you're living two different lives.
That's weird. That's like, what is that stuff doing to your brain? That's so crazy. Now, I had, in fact, Michelle, my niece, who's been on this show a few times, she's the one who I was talking to her, with her about it, because she wants to learn how to lucid dream.
Oh, I want to learn how to lucid dream. Yeah.
I am a lucid dreamer. I was as a child.
I know. I'm so jealous.
Like very, very lucid dreams. I still occasionally, it happens to me occasionally, but if I try, but I don't try. So I don't tell myself like, oh, I'm going to do some lucid dreaming, or I want to try. If I did, I would do it all the time. But every once in a while, I'll have a random one. But when I was young, I didn't know there was a name for it. Michelle's the one who told me there's a name for it. The lucid dreams is what it's called. I did not know that was a name for it. But when I was young, it would happen to me all the time. And I couldn't understand, like, I would go to my friends' houses and stuff. And then I didn't understand why they didn't remember. Because I would be like, no, listen, tonight I'm going to go to your house. I'm going to knock on the door. We're going to go out, da-da-da-da-da. But they wouldn't, like, I'm like, we're going to meet. And they'd be like, okay, we're going to do it. And then, like, the next day, they're like, no, I don't. I'm like, I was at your house.
And you would, like, fly, too, sometimes, right?
Oh, no, that's what I would do all the time. My number one thing, when I knew I was lucid dreaming, I'd be like, yes, I'm going to go fly. So I'd walk out the front door, like my house. I would go down the hallway, out the front door, and I would run down Baton Rouge Drive. I would run down and I would fly. And then I would fly to my friend's house and I would fly. That's what I would do. But I didn't know it was called lucid dream. So I've even like met celebrities, talked to celebrities, like all kinds of crazy things.
That's crazy.
In my dreams. I've actually, the weirdest thing is, and I did this a lot when I worked at Netflix, when I was like problem solving, like something didn't balance or something. It was when I was in accounting. I would lucid dream and fix the problem in my dream, and then I would wake up, and then I would like write it down.
No
I would
way.
write down like, I wouldn't even write down like a lot. I would write down like almost like shorthand, like bullet points, so that I wouldn't forget. And then it would be problems, solutions to my problems at work. It's literally crazy. I used to do that quite a bit. And the one thing I will say, if this happens to you and you wake up and you have an amazing idea, or you came up with a title to your book that you're writing, or whatever it is, it's so sharp in your brain at that moment that you're like, oh, this is amazing. You have to write it down, because it's gone.
Yeah.
If you go back to sleep and you wake up a few hours later, it's gone.
Yeah. I know that part. You have vivid dreams then.
Yeah, I do. Now, not now, since I've been on my HRT and I take the progesterone. I sleep so deep that I just get knocked into another planet. I don't dream. It's literally a dead sleep. It's
That's
not
nice.
It's not an active sleep. Because I don't know, I mean, do you think that you get good sleep when you're dreaming that actively? Like when you
it's called REM sleep. REM sleep is good. That's when you're dreaming. You're in REM.
Yeah, rapid eye movement.
It's good to get REM sleep. You probably have dreams, you just not...
I don't recall them.
You don't recall them.
That's interesting. Let's take a little break for One Up Nutrition. We'll be right back. When it comes to the best supplements to support your muscle building and fat loss goals, One Up Nutrition has you covered. Their gut health supplements have been a complete game changer for me. And I have to say, their protein powders are my absolute favorites. Mike and I literally order the peanut butter cookie and lemon Italian iced protein powders by the case. They are that good. With so many delicious flavors to choose from, One Up Nutrition makes hitting your protein goals easy and enjoyable. So whether you're looking for supplements, protein powders, or anything in between, shop One Up Nutrition for all your needs. And don't forget to use Janine to save at checkout. That's code JEANINE. All right, you guys, welcome back. Do you find it interesting that the older you get, the more like me you become?
Do you think I'm like you?
Yes.
Like how?
In a lot of ways, yeah. Yeah, because I can really tell, like when we travel, I don't know, just the way we move very similarly, fast, kind of fast paced, like let's get to it, very punctual, very structured. Do you find that living on your own, do you feel similarities or see similarities in yourself now that you're on your own?
Yes, I know I'm like you.
In what ways?
I'm very short.
Here she goes. There's all the insults. Here they come.
But I'm talking about myself too.
Yeah.
I'm very short to the point. I don't like to look in people's eyes. What else? I am structured, but it's I'm structured, but I'm not in some ways. It's so weird, you know? Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. But I'm kind of like that too.
I'm very type A, but I'm disorganized at the same time.
It's disorganized.
My mind feels disorganized.
So I would call that organized chaos. Speaking of which, several months back, we had talked about ADHD on here.
Yes.
And you had talked about how you were on a pursuit to get diagnosed. So what's going on with that?
So I am having major struggles. It's been an absolute nightmare with my current insurance, and they make it so challenging. I'm with Kaiser, and Kaiser is known to have terrible mental health services. And after going through heaps and different whole different hoops and things, I finally was able to get an appointment with a therapist. And then that was recently. That was like this week. I was finally able to get an appointment. And I felt very dissatisfied after the appointment. I felt like she kind of dismissed me because she can see on my record, I've been diagnosed with depression, depression, anxiety, panic disorder, eating disorder. She kind of saw all those things as like, I think your anxiety could be causing these habits of disorganization and things that are affecting your ability to work and stuff. And I was like, no, you're misunderstanding me. It's not my anxiety that is causing me to not work efficiently. It's me not being able to work efficiently that's causing my anxiety.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the other way around. And it's very frustrating that I felt really dismissed, but she told me there's other steps to go through. I now have to see another therapist who's going to further assess me for ADHD. And they were supposed to call me yesterday. No call. So now I have to call them again and figure out this whole situation. It's really frustrating, but hopefully I can, eventually.
Yeah, because Michelle got her diagnosis. She kind of went through the same thing. It was hard to get diagnosed. And that was a long time ago, maybe a year or so ago. But she got her medication for it. She was diagnosed, got her medication, but she was still drinking at the time. Oh. So, you're not even supposed to drink on that kind of medication. And she was still drinking, obviously, heavily at the time. But now that she's not drinking, she goes, I feel so much better and my meds are working. Like she feels the effects of her medication.
Yeah.
So it really did help her a lot. It just goes to show it's kind of like the same thing like we had talked about on that show a while back was especially with women, they just kind of dismiss it. Or they just want to treat what the condition is causing. They want to treat that. They're treating the symptom. It's the same thing they do with menopause.
And it's very common for women especially who have ADHD to be misdiagnosed, and it's very common for them to have had depression and anxiety. Very common.
Yeah, but it's the ADHD causing the depression and anxiety.
Yes, and it's there's also different types of ADHD. Like I actually got diagnosed. He went through a much easier process, and he got diagnosed with ADHD. He has more hyperactive, so he has
makes sense.
I'm kind of fidgety? I like to fidget too, but not to the extent of him. He constantly has to shake his foot, and you can see it just from outward perspective. But for me, I feel like it's harder to see from the outside. It's more so what's going on in my mind,
I think that's very common with women. That's why women get on mostly misdiagnosed. Men, they show it in their actions more so. Not blanket statement here. Men are more likely to show it by acting out, misbehaving as kids, acting out in class. The spontaneous things they do in class or whatever, they would get in trouble a lot. But girls, they tend to deal with it internally. And then it manifests itself in anxiety and depression. And then the anxiety and depression is what gets treated. So again, they're treating the symptoms and jumping to treat the symptoms. That's the problem. Instead of addressing the root cause. Totally off topic, but not really. But that's exactly what happens a lot of times in women's health. That's why women in menopause are so often dismissed, especially like perimenopause. They'll just be like, oh yeah, no, too young, or let's just give you Ambien to go to sleep if you're not sleeping good. They just want to treat the symptoms.
Yeah.
They don't want to say, hey, let's look at your hormones. Let's look at what's causing this so that we don't have to treat the symptoms, which is just a Band-Aid on a hole, and we can stop it.
A Band-Aid on a bullet wound.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. A Band-Aid on a bullet wound. All right, you guys. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode. If you want to chat with Alyssa on a phone call and you want to consult for one of my coaching programs, just head over to my website, JanineEscobar.com, and you may just be talking to Alyssa after all. All right, you guys, we will see you on the next one.